and mail it back to me, and you did, so thank you very much.
The subtext there is that I met Superman in that comic book, which was the coolest thing ever. So the real question here is, why did your mom mail your comic book? So are you too young to know what a stamp is and what an envelope is?
Surprise for my birthday.
Oh, for your birthday. I'm glad that because I didn't know how that question was going to end, right? My mom mailed you my... All right, I'm glad that worked out.
I am a student of astrophysics and political science. I think you will agree, in fact I know you'll agree, that the only way that we can rapidly achieve real exploration and development of space is by counting it in terms of great societal motivators like the economic motivator and the motivation for survival. I put to you that the only way that that message will emerge, will get out, is if the space lobby becomes a real lobby using actual political methodologies. Is that happening? Who's bringing that on? Where is that happening?
Great question. I have an opposite philosophy, if you will. I don't like talking to members of Congress. I don't want to talk to the president. We hung out a few days ago. You may see the photo. We were chilling. Bill Nye and I were at the White House, and the president was between us, and we just quickly popped a selfie like that. And so, the reason why I don't speak to elected officials is because they represent a district, a region, an electorate. I don't want to bypass that elected official's representation of who elected them. Period. That's the opposite of what lobbyists do, I understand. But as an educator and as a scientist, that person is duly elected. Even the person in the United States on the science committee who is sure that the universe was created in 6 days, 6,000 years ago. He's on the science committee of Congress. I will not say you should be out of office. I will not say that. Because he was duly elected by a community of people to represent them. I'm an educator, so instead of looking to the politicians, I look to the public. And I offer them the universe, and I offer them what the methods and tools of science tell us about the universe. That's, in a way, what cosmos is. If we can compel the electorate to think that way, then they will not tolerate officials, elected officials and lawmakers who are scientifically illiterate. Because you can swap out elected officials, but you have a community of people voting in the next one. What good is that? You run it back to Washington every 2 years. I'd rather train the electorate to begin with than I go to the Bahamas and they elect the good people every time. I want to be there. That's how democracy is supposed to work. That's how that goes. Yeah, okay. Yes, over here.
Neil, thank you very much for your talk. You're euphonious as always.
Wait, what's that word?
Euphonious.
Euphonious.
Leading
Is that a good word or a bad word? Euphonious.
Resident. Pleasing to the ear.
Oh, thank you. Euphonious. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. That's a new word for me.
So,
euphonious. I'm euphonious. That sounds like the third, leader of Rome. I am euphonious. Hail euphonious. Sorry, I like new words, and so I have to celebrate it for 30 seconds before we get back to it. But it sounds like you're phony. You are phony. You're phony. Okay, I'm done celebrating the word. Go.
Okay, as a neuroscientist in training, I often wonder in the future how I will be able to strike a balance balance between the generation of knowledge, that is research output, and the dissemination of that knowledge, bringing the frontier to the public. And so it seems to me that there is a threshold of the public communication of science beyond which sort of research productivity is somewhat compromised. And so my question is, how have you managed to sort of put some research on pause for some period of time? And I know you dearly miss the lab in some ways, and I mean, I don't think this is a sacrifice which is truly appreciated by the public, because it's a tremendous personal sacrifice, and it's a truly laudable sacrifice as well. And also, may I shake the hand of the man responsible for my scientific pursuit?
Yeah, sure. Euphonious. I am euphonious. First, you picked an awesome field, neuroscience. I think that is the future of psychology. I think that'll take us into the future. You guys are in your infancy, and that's a good thing, which means it's a wide open field. A. B. Yes, there's a trade-off. I'm here and I'm not in the lab. And so I have to judge what that balance is for myself. I have done more public work than is my preference, primarily because I judged that there are things that I've done for the public that I may be uniquely qualified to do, and I would be irresponsible if I didn't do them. When Cosmos, the opportunity to host it, when I have this history with Carl Sagan when I was a kid in high school, how could I not do that? As much of a stress that was to family life and my kids, you wait for a month and the kids get older, the kids change. So I judged that I would be irresponsible if I didn't. And so I did. But part of my plan, however delusional, is that after the series sort of clears and the press drops off, and after I go to the Bahamas for 5 years, then I come to recover, then I'm going to go back to the lab, and you'll see much less of me. Still do the radio show, but you'll see much less of me. Yes, Cosmos will repeat, but I want to pull back and refuel my tanks. And so it's a personal equation for everyone. I think you should do what you think no one else can do. And if it's research, and you can do public outreach and it's just okay, do the research. Let someone else do the public outreach who's better than you. If you're doing public outreach and people are flocking to you, and your research is like just okay, do more of the public outreach, because the greater good is better served by you doing what you're best at. So, let's go right here with this scarf. Okay, so you're representing 4 of the people in your section. Okay.
This question was...
Louder.
This question was somewhat posed, not in the same sense, but I'm wondering, I've got a few different questions, but first off, do the 3 fundamental forces, not including gravity, of course,
Of course. You're embarrassing other people when you just speak like that. You realize that? How old are you?
13.
You're 13, okay. So the 13-year-old knows, oh, there are 3 fundamental forces, not including gravity, of course. Okay, the 3 forces, not including gravity, are they affected by dark matter?
Or is dark matter affected by that?
They feel each other gravitationally, but only that. There's no other interaction between any of the other forces. There's no electromagnetic interaction. There's no strong nuclear force reaction. There's no weak nuclear force interaction with them. Only gravity. That's part of the mystery of dark matter, of Fred, right? That's part of the mystery. If it interacted with our world, we'd be able to do experiments in the lab and detach them and reattach them and connect them and sniff it. We'd be able to poke it and bag it and tag it. And right now it just passes through us as though we're not even here.
I've got a bunch of other questions, but...
Okay, I'll take one more question.
Being a gigantic nerd,
You or me? If you start a sentence with being a gigantic nerd, I don't know who you're talking about. Like, you're talking about yourself? Both of us, okay. Nerd duo. I'm card-carrying nerd. Yes, go. How many decimals of pi do you know? You know 65 decimals of pi? Wait, your friend does. What is that? Did you say you know 65 decimals or your friend does?
My friend tried to get a ticket tonight and couldn't.
Okay, so what you're saying is you hang out with people working in the gym. Okay, cool. So what's your next question?
Do you watch Dr. Who?
I always take my time in relative dimensions in space. I watch it occasionally, but the big Doctor Who fan in my family is my 17-year-old geek daughter. And I tweeted just 2 days ago, I told you about that slow motion interview. So she calculated at what fraction of the speed of light that interview would have to be moving to be viewed time dilated in that state. And there's most of that on the internet. If you want to date my daughter, you better figure out some special relativity. We have time for this, a few more questions. Let me come back up there in a minute. Right here, yes.
Not much of a question, but you said
Okay, next over here.
you said you collected currencies. You want some Pakistani currency?
Do you have a famous scientist on your Pakistani currency?
Unfortunately not.
You don't?
No, I don't think there's any. Actually, no, the guy who invented the nuclear bomb for Pakistan. No, he's not.
Okay, a quick point about Pakistan. So I was describing the 1.3 billion Muslims in the world. Of course, Pakistan was created as a Muslim state. The 1.3 billion Muslims in the world. The Nobel Prize has been given every year since 1900 in the sciences, and we can ask how many Muslims have won the Nobel Prize in the sciences of the 1.3 billion in the world in the entire century that it's been given. And the number is like 2.5, because one of them won it in economics. Science. If you count that. So one of the ones that won it is a physicist, and is Abdus Salam, for unifying the weak and electromagnetic forces of the universe. So even the physicist Muslim who won it was not Middle East Muslim. It's an interesting fact there. So I think he's a good candidate to put him on the next bill when you get it.
It's the same guy in all the bills. It's just a family.
Oh, the same dude. Okay, actually, I would welcome it as a gift because I am euphonious and I accept it. And I've never seen Pakistani currency, so thank you. Thank you. And who's this guy? Oh, you had a gun? Okay. Okay, well, thank you. That's the number 1,000 on it. It's $10. Okay.
So maybe we can get just one last question.
Okay.
And we'll jump back up to the
How about there, right there with, I see you. You see me? Yes, okay. What's your question? I'm going to answer your question, then I'll go back to the woman up here because